So welcome back to the video, everyone. So we are here at Songlo office. As you can see at the back, a big signage right over there, and we are giving you we're just like first-time home buyers experience and what have you. And we have Sun and Dylan here, of course. Please introduce yourself first.
My name is Sun. I'm a managing lawyer with the Songlo office, and I work with Dylan.
Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Dylan. I'm an articling student here. I've started in December 1st officially as an articling student. So I'll officially be a lawyer in September this year.
Hey, congratulations!
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. So anyhow, funny story is, I met Sun back in 2018. Was it 2018?
No, 2021.
Was it 2020? Oh no, yeah, I sold my property back in 2021, and Eunice was the one who
the realtor for you.
Yeah, the realtor for me, and then she introduced me to you, right?
That's correct.
And at the time, I was still on the course, in the middle of the course at that time, and after I got my license, we worked together since.
Oh, ever since, yeah.
Yeah, so it's you know why? Because I love their office customer service. It's beyond.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's above and beyond. Right, so that's why ever since I always recommend them to my clients. Obviously, I'm gonna let them choose 3 options, right?
Of course.
And then I will recommend one of those 3 options, right? And then that's the client's decision. So anyhow,
awesome.
So we have some few questions with regarding
Sure.
yeah, with first-time home buyers and stuff like that they don't know the process and what to expect, because it's their first time, right? So they don't know what to expect. They don't know what to ask. Let's start with what are the first step on the process.
Sure.
Yeah.
So first home buyer, I know it's a very big step of anybody's life. So first thing I do, sorry Dylan, I hold their hand, I guide them step by step very carefully. I try to make the steps very simple and easy, and then so that's what we want to make sure, because obviously they wouldn't know what to expect.
100%.
Yeah, so number one, I just explain about what they have to do with respect to mortgage. So if they're a first-time home buyer, if they buy by cash, that's wonderful, but in most of the time that's not likely.
100%.
So if you are obtaining mortgage to buy your own house, of course, I just ask them whether they have signed with the mortgage broker. Once they signed it, that means mortgage has been approved, and then on our end, we receive the mortgage instruction from the mortgage company. Okay, so that's the document that I need to prepare, and then also we review seller lawyer's package. So we review those documents. That's what we call closing documents. So I go by I just review those documents with our client one by one. If those documents require any little details, we contact them and obtain those information and complete the document, and also we meet with our client and sign, and that's pretty much about it.
That's pretty much about it. See, pretty simple, right? So don't be scared. And of course, if they have any questions at all, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
No.
Right? So whatever it is, I always advise my clients, before you go to the lawyer, if you have any questions at all, list down or jot down all the questions that you may have, and then ask away, especially with this team here.
Yeah,
like,
we love questions.
Yeah, you will not hesitate to to ask or answer your questions. Like, they are more than happy to help out. So there's always most famous question that I always receive is that, is initial deposit to purchase a property is refundable?
Okay.
Yeah, because
we're going to contract.
Yeah, we're going to the contract right now. So because that's the most frequent question that I noticed that's always been brought up, especially for the first-time home buyers, right? So is the initial deposit, if the deal didn't fall through or the deal fall through, is the deposit still refundable?
About the deposit, initial deposit is conditional upon buyer's conditions removal, right?
Correct.
So of course, you don't want to buy a house by paying money, and then you want to put some deposit because you want to show the seller you are serious.
Yes, exactly.
Enough to get into the deal.
100%, yeah.
But however, you are protected by adding buyer's conditions. Most common conditions that you normally insert to the contract financing conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. At the time of the contract, you might not have been approved by the lender to buy that house, right? So number one, financing condition. And number two, most common, the other one that is common that we commonly used for buyer's condition is inspection condition.
Yes, correct.
So you want to make sure you hire an inspector and then, of course, inspect the house to see whether there's any issues, especially
Correct.
structural issues.
100%.
And then if there's a big issue and you don't want to buy that house, you can back up. And then if those conditions you added in the contract are not satisfied by a certain date that you promised, then of course those initial deposit will be refundable.
Refundable.
Yeah.
So there we go. There you have it. So
Yeah.
it is refundable. So as long as you have a condition in place,
Of
right?
course.
Because there are some offers, especially with the market right now. It's crazy that sometimes they don't even put conditions.
Exactly.
Nothing at all. So that's really dangerous and tricky because you're not saving your deposit, of course, number one, and of course the financing as well. Not unless you're paying cash, right? Or you're 100% that sure that you are approved by your mortgage, right? So
That's a really good point. So initial deposit is refundable only if you have buyer's conditions.
100%.
And then they are, if they are not satisfied, and those deposit will be refundable. However, if you enter into a contract where there's no condition,
Yeah.
and then of course it's not
refundable.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. So make sure talk to the professionals, of course, seek guidance with the lawyer, with the realtor, because pretty much we deal with this every day.
Of
they
course.
deal with this one, with different scenario as well every day. Another question is that always pops up in my clients are there any restrictions on how I can use the property? For example, there's we have the RPR, right? So we have the real property report. There's always a question, there's any restriction on what do I want to do in my house or on my property?
Oh, so restriction in terms of development.
Development, yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, there are. So make sure. So a lot of people want you to make sure that they want to decorate their house. Let's say they want to add new improvement to the property. Let's say a deck. You want to have a huge deck that you want to install.
Yeah.
But yet you want to make sure with the city of Calgary, if you live in city at the city or any municipality that is appropriate, to make sure that you obtain the building permit. Building permit to make sure that the structure you are adding to your property is in accordance with their bylaw. Okay, otherwise you might have to remove it. When you decide to sell it, there are a lot of issues. So I wouldn't recommend for anybody to do yourself.
I know, yeah.
Okay.
I remember back then. This is a story of the RPR. I'm not sure if you still remember that. That's the Rainbow Falls property, right?
Okay, tell me more about it.
There was the fire pit. It wasn't on the RPR, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, and I think that was my first deal.
Yes.
I think,
so
yeah.
anything permanent has a permanent nature, affixed to the ground, right? Need to be reflected in the RPR.
Yes.
Oh, so you might wonder what the RPR is. It's
Yes.
a real property report. Looks like a drawing. So that kind of reflects all the structures. Let's say you fly a drone above your, top above your the roof, and when the drone sees the structures, right? That's how the RPR reflects structures of the house. And then anything permanent. I'm not talking about movable shed or anything that has a movable nature, but anything has a fixture that kind of is affixed to the ground need to be reflected. So a lot of people think that, oh, it's a simple fire pit. How, I don't want to update the RPR.
Yeah.
But you need to. RPR is quite expensive.
It is expensive. Oh my goodness, that was a learning curve, of course. And I was like, oh my goodness, son, what do I do?
It's always a good conversation.
I know,
right?
yeah. So that was a quite experience, but you learn as you go.
Of course.
Right? And
of course.
now it's been 2 years? It's crazy, eh?
And this is legal part, so I'm more than happy to assist with anybody, right?
100%. So anyhow, the other question is, what is RPR? And Son already talked about how important the RPR is. Every time you are purchasing a property, make sure that you have the RPR in hand, or check with the realtor if they have the copy of the RPR, because that's really important. One of the question is, so we are jumping like topic to topic here, right? So there's one question is, what should I expect during the closing process?
But this is for purchasers, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So in our perspective, in the law firm, on closing day, what we expect is to receive the mortgage proceeds in the morning on the closing day. After that, we write a check to the seller's law firm in trust, and we either send it by courier to the law firm, or we direct deposit it into their bank, depending what the law firm requires. Now, the check made out to them is the cash to close, which is basically the amount that we require to close the deal, basically. Now, right after that, after we send the money to them, they either will give us a notification that they received the amount, and then we call the realtor, letting them know that we sent the cash to close, and then next is the realtor will let the client know that everything went well and that they should expect the keys
at 12 noon.
By 12 noon.
Of course.
Yeah, so by 12 noon. So the key release, the always good news is the key release, right? And finally,
I know.
it's all done.
I know. So
the long process.
Yeah, on the closing, basically, how Dylan is described, we send the money over to close, and then we let the realtors know that keys should be releasable.
Yeah.
Then seller's lawyer will release the keys, because no money, no keys, right?
Yes.
So they are the only one who can say, they can verify, yes, we have money, we'll release the keys.
Yes.
And that's how clients receive their keys to enter to the property as an owner. So
So there's a lot of work behind the scenes. So because people tends to see like lawyers and real estate agents like driving fancy cars.
Are you?
No, I'm not. Hey guys, I'm driving a 2008 Honda Civic with 357,000 kilometers on it. So there you have it, with my big face in there. so yeah, but there's a lot of work behind with negotiation, especially with the realtors and also the lawyers as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just an easy, I thought it's gonna be an easy job, right? I thought it's gonna be an easy task, but there are times that you will get super exhausted, especially if you have a lot of clients, you're dealing a lot of clients and stuff like that. And obviously with lawyers as well, definitely, because there's not just one client, right? There is a lot of clients that you have to do, and with different experiences and scenario that they have to figure out.
Yeah, legal issues.
Legal issues.
Yeah, so one thing I love about Marvin's contract that I received, because he always add final walkthrough class. What that means, the buyers, especially first-time home buyers, once they send the money over, the seller will give you a key and you'll enter the house, and then you'll find some deficiencies.
Yeah.
Then that'll be the end of the story. Unless you can prove that, of course, subject to some exceptions. And then, so in order to prevent that from having that kind of issue after receiving keys, whenever I review Marvin's contract, it always includes final walkthrough class. What that means, buyers can actually view the house one more time a day before or 2 days before the closing, to make sure everything is in order. Like appliances, whether they are in working order, whether the conditions that you saw was exactly same as the condition you saw at that time of the contract. If it's not, then of course that's the time I get involved. Of course. Yes. Water leak, I've seen everything. Water leak, mice issue, pasting, broken fridge.
I think and I think there is one that I heard from Eunice before, that they swapped the appliances.
Oh,
I think there is.
Was that Eunice? Like recently I had one case, probably that was Eunice.
So so it happens, right? So you have to make sure that
sometimes consciously, or some sellers know that they should have not taken it, but they replace it. And then sometimes without knowing much, right, about the contract, they take it.
So it happens. There's a lot. every situation is unique, and of course every situation has solution.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right? So we all have just to do is to brainstorm and focus on the problem and for the solution for the problem. Right? We don't panic. Right?
No, when I have an issue, I don't panic.
Yeah, we
right?
don't panic. So we make sure that the client is satisfied at the end of the day and they are safe on their purchase. Because again, this is a lifelong commitment.
Of
For
course.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And a big purchase that they're gonna do in their entire life.
Yes.
Right? So that's amazing. Another question is, okay, so this question pop up as well again. So does an HOA fee or a condo fee indicated on the land title? Because there are some properties, or for example, condo townhouses, they don't have condo fees, right? And some townhouses they does. So where does the like the if it doesn't have any condo fee, does it state on the title?
Okay.
So that was the question that I encountered before.
So on the land title certificate, it does not indicate anywhere on the land title certificate that there is an HOA fee or a condo fee. However, on the land title certificate, there is indication that an HOA is associated with the property.
Okay.
It'll show up as an encumbrance, and
Okay.
then the encumbrancy will be listed, and that's the HOA. Now, the condo fee is also not listed. So what we have to do is contact the condo company in order to get the fees. However, the condo fees are also indicated in the contract as well, but we contact the condo board just to ensure that that amount is correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you double check. So even though there is it's already indicated
Of
there, you
course.
still double check
Yeah.
if that's the correct amount indicated on the purchase contract.
Exactly. Yeah.
Amazing.
And the same thing is with the HOA fee. We either search them up online, and sometimes they have their fees online. If not, we will have to phone them. Some HOAs require us to order an information sheet, which lists how much the HOA fee is and how much the sellers have paid with their HOA. Yeah.
Interesting. So, but what if it doesn't have any condo fee?
Well, sometimes they don't have any condo fees.
Yeah.
So
So how they like a proof that there will be no condo fee? Where does the buyer can see that?
So following Dylan's comment, we contact them. So they send us statement or email confirmation or it's a piece of paper showing there's no fees.
Oh.
So we can get the confirmation from condo board.
Okay.
So there's sometimes you have a self-managed condo board.
Yeah.
And then, so they don't charge a condo fee, but they manage it together. And
I
then
see.
there's no specific.
That's why it's called self-managed.
Yeah,
management.
exactly. And there's a person, you have a contact point, so you can contact them and get a letter. And then another document that confirms there's no condo fee. Because let's talk about purchasing a condo. And of course, when I have a buyer, then what we do is we do searches to make sure the title is clean. The title kind of shows that whether there's a home association, HOA, or whether it's a condominium or house. We do the searches, number one.
Okay.
And then we talk to the right person and get that written approval as to the condo fee and all that. All right.
Okay, perfect.
And that's how we proceed. And then some, it's interesting. You sometimes have a HOA and also a condo, and then condo without HOA.
Yes.
And then sometimes self-managed condo, so you don't
No,
pay any
H-
condo
yes.
fees. And then there's a condo and HOA, but there's only one organization like a condo board or HOA that manages both fees.
Yeah.
So it's there are various versions of fee structures, but that's our job. We will find out and how much we need to adjust.
And that's really good because aside from because we send them the purchase contract and indicating everything like what's the condo fee and all, and that's really good to know that aside from that they also double check and ensure that all the informations are correct.
Yeah. Not only that, at the end we want to according to the contract, actually seller must to provide a document called, I know it's a funny name, estoppel document. So this is a document from a condo board showing nothing's owing by the current seller and no special assessment.
Yeah.
So that is a ultimate document that shows that it's a proof for proof for no outstanding arrears
Yeah.
by the seller.
And everything is clear.
And we get that for the buyer always.
Okay.
No exception.
So it's a seller's expense.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. That's
and
amazing.
buyer need to get the copy.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So aside from the condo documents, right? So that's estoppel documents.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
It's a lot of information, huh?
I know it's a lot of information. That's
Yeah.
really good.
So what I want to talk about to make it simple, because it's already overwhelming amount of information
Exactly.
already. So I remember when I bought my first home, and then I was really excited. And then I went to, that was the first time I met with a lawyer. At the time,
Yeah.
I wasn't a lawyer.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I went
So
to
how was your lawyer, by the way? How was the?
But actually, now looking back, I thought she was a lawyer. Now looking back, she was a paralegal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in our law firm, only lawyers or student at law can see client. No paralegals can see the client.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so we want to make sure that we give proper legal advice. But a few times in a row for initial transactions that I had in my life, mostly I met paralegals, number one, and they explained briefly and made sure that I signed here and there, and I thought I understood. And I signed everything. And I felt confident that, okay, I bought the house, I signed everything. But then when I became a lawyer, especially a real estate lawyer, I kind of realized that I wasn't, nobody explained properly about each term. So that's why, I care about those explanations.
Of course.
So it takes at least for me 1 hour or more for me to go over all the documents with them, because I want to make sure that I explain. So those are very important. So it's important to have a good team. So realtor, also legal team together. So I think that makes a huge difference, because they really make sure that they guide you step by step, make things easy, and then any questions pops up will be answered, and then I will explain, or we'll explain everything in detail so they understand without any doubt.
Yes,
right?
100%. And also, and add to that is, in this kind of transaction, communication is the key.
Oh, of course.
Right? So, it's funny, sometimes Sun is like, although I don't have her personal number, she calls me like 10 o'clock in the evening, 11 o'clock if I have any concerns, right?
Now we're friends, right?
Now we're friends. I think I'm gonna get her personal number now. I'm gonna bug her 12 midnight. Son, I need help. So that's really important. That's the key for a successful transaction.
Yes.
A smooth transaction is communication, and I really appreciate what they do. For me as well, for my business, my clients are always happy, and I always ask them how was their service.
I'm screened. I didn't know.
And I always get a 5-star feedback, and which is
that's nice.
really important, especially for our client out there, because again, this business, real estate business, law firm business, is always a word of mouth. And of course, end of the day, as long as the clients are satisfied and happy, and that's all that matters. And also, of course, the legal aspect of that, right?
Yeah, that's very rewarding, and I'm glad. I'm glad you brought that up. It's important that you have a good team together, not as a lawyer, realtor, and broker. Sometimes you get to see everyone as one team.
Yes.
I think that's what we're creating here.
Exactly,
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
So anything? Very good.
Such a hard worker. Without him, it's really hard for me to go
my
through
goodness. Yeah, I know,
day
with
to day.
everything. Yeah, that's for sure.
Work.
I was like, holy crap, Son, does she still sleep or something?
Yeah, sometimes no.
No.
It's a lot of work, right?
Oh,
Of course, especially you're not just handling me, you're just handling different, realtors
Of
as well,
course.
different concerns. Oh my goodness, that's a lot.
But it's fun and rewarding.
It is. It's
rewarding.
all about probably, because that's the thing, right? So everybody is built differently, right? And probably you try this, but it's not for you, so you have to move on. But again, you have to enjoy what you do,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
On the daily basis, because this is what you're facing every day, like for the whole year, right? You're facing this kind of situation, scenario, and stuff like that every day. So it's really important to love what you do, and making the clients happy as well.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really rewarding.
I know.
As son, this
And
is
then, just I want to encourage that first-time home buyer to just find your crew, your team who are friendly, who are knowledgeable, and then also who are very guiding you, not as a client, but also as a very important person in your life, because that's such a big investment
It is.
in anybody's life.
It is.
And I think we're quite confident that we're creating that together.
Yes, and we are solid.
Yay.
Yes. So if you have any questions at all or any concerns, comment down below, and we are more than happy to raise your concerns and answer those questions that you may have, especially those people who are first-time home buyers. They're confused of the process and what have you. Here to guide you all throughout the process. All right, thank you so much for watching, everyone. So again, we have Son and Dylan. Thank you so much for having the time to create this video for everyone out there.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah.
And
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Part 2.
Part 2, yes. So yeah, if you have any questions,
Part two.
Dylan wants part 2. So if you have any questions, guys, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's, you know,
You answer all the questions.
yeah, I know, the legal
My
part,
best.
personal part, you know, we are more than happy to, you know, share it with you. And yeah,
He's single.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's single. There you go, ladies.
Oh, God.
Ladies, I'll put Dylan's contact and your address down below. So.
So long.
Yes, Sanglo office. And I'll put the address as well, so where you can see him.
All right.
So thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you on the next one.